Hey, what's up people? Tony here and welcome back to TTBurger Game Reviews. Welcome to part 2 of episode 104 as we take a look at more FMV games here, mainly 3 games that were re-released for the PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch that were mainly on the Sega CD and stuff like that. Now, those of you who missed what happened in part 1, let's take a little TTBurger recap here to show you all what you missed. In part 1, I took a look at Night Trap and gave it a 9 out of 10 because of certain problems I had with it, like the game being short and stuff like that, and just not being able to experience the whole storyline and stuff because you'd be constantly watching the cameras and stuff. But still, it's definitely an awesome, fun game and stuff. Definitely check it out. It's on the PlayStation 4 for about $15 there and stuff like that. And so it's definitely worth it if you can find it, definitely. But now for part 2, we're going to be looking at a game that came out after Night Trap, and it has a similar type of gameplay and stuff. That it's still an FMV game, still with similar gameplay to it. That's why I can start part 2 here, and really start here with Double Switch. And once again, we're looking at the PlayStation 4 version and such. Now, my thoughts on Double Switch are, it's a good game, just not as good as memorable as Night Trap, but it's still good. I mean, there are some things I have to say about it, with complaints I have and stuff, but we'll get to those later on and such. But now let's get started here talking about the story. As the story starts, you're greeted by this guy named Eddie, who's played by the late Corey Haim, and he says that he needs help because he's trapped in the basement of his building and stuff like that, and there's something going on, and you basically have to use the camera and phone system and traps and stuff to trap the bad guys inside the civilians and stuff like that. And if you mess up too many times, like in Night Trap, then it's game over for you. And that's basically the gist of the story. There's more to it as you play further on, but if I were to explain the story a lot, we'd be here all day, and I don't want to spoil it for anyone who wants to play this game. But let's get back on track here. Game's presentation is once again on par with the remastering and remastering smooth looking of Night Trap and stuff. Like it's all done in FMV, and it looks good and remastered and very crystal clear and very smooth, and actually has better lighting this time than the original version of the game and stuff. Like this game was released first on the Sega CD, and then the Sega CD 32X and the Sega Saturn and stuff, and now it's on the Nintendo Switch and the PlayStation 4 and more and stuff. And it looks great. It looks very modern looking, and once again you can also choose the back of your camera and like your map system and stuff like that too, but I stuck with the original Sega CD one because I wanted to make it as retro looking as possible and stuff. But like, of course, also some very crisp lighting here, and it all looks great, and just the FMV stuff looks fine. But now let's take a look at the sound here, and the acting is great once again, a little bit hokey and stuff like that, especially when they scream or the actors scream or get mad and stuff like that. And I should also mention that the lead singer of Blondie, Debbie Harry, actually plays as Eddie's mom in this game too, and that's actually really cool there too. It's like it's the first time and one of the only few times where she has been in a video game and stuff. So that's actually really cool too. She plays the character Elizabeth and stuff. But I'm going off topic there. But besides, let's get back on track here. The acting is really good. It's pretty much on par with Night Trap. It's a little hokey and stuff, but still, the acting is just great as Night Trap's acting was and stuff. It's got really good music. It's very catchy and stuff, and like especially when you have this band playing with their music and stuff too, and you got like the atmosphere orchestral sounds when like there's something intense coming up and stuff. And most part of the sound, it's just great. It's just great. It's awesome. I don't have any complaint with there. Now we gotta talk about the gameplay here. Gameplay is good, but like we have problems that we gotta talk about. Like I said, this game is very similar to Night Trap. You scroll through rooms and try and sell traps at the right time to trap the bad guys and stuff like that. But they did things a little bit different here than it was in Night Trap. In Double Switch here, you have to like hit the button like at least 3 times, and then when the person goes over the trap, you have to hit the button again to trap them and stuff like that. But be careful not to trap the wrong person, or if you're late rescuing certain people, it's game over for you, and you gotta retry from the checkpoint and stuff like that, or from the beginning, because there are 3 acts here and stuff like that, and every time you beat an act, it's the checkpoint and stuff. And be sure you set off the right trap too, because like they got symbols on the ground here that are confusing at first, but once you know what the symbols mean and stuff, then it'll get better. And the game is very challenging and can get extremely difficult at times, especially when you don't know what to do and like which trap to set off and stuff. But it isn't super difficult though, and it just takes time and practice. It's all about practice makes perfect, they say. And after you know what you'll do, it will be a breeze and stuff like that. And now I gotta talk about the downsides here. Is that like Night Trap, it is over very quickly, but it has a lot of replay value to it and stuff. It's just that some of the traps can be hard to pull off, so that if you don't know what you're doing, if you hit the wrong button or rest of the, or stuff like that and stuff, it's gonna be very frustrating for people who haven't played this game yet and stuff like that. And it can be frustrating if you just half a second later stuff like that. And it can be frustrating. I mean, it's not super frustrating, but it can be very cheap at times and stuff. And it's just, Night Trap just fared a lot better for me and stuff. I mean, just that the story was better, like the setting was better and stuff like that. I mean, like, it's just, while I do like this apartment hotel setting and stuff like that and such, like with and stuff like that, with statues and everything like that and stuff. It does, I do like it, but it just didn't really catch my eye as much as Night Trap did. I mean, like this Double Switch here is still a great game. I mean, I love Double Switch, but it's not going to be getting as high of a rating as like Night Trap did and stuff. But aside from that, though, that's pretty much all I gotta say. My final rating here goes like this. I mean, Double Switch is good. I like Double Switch, but I just like Night Trap better and stuff, because of the problems they have and stuff. And I just thought the story was not as good as, and the setting was not as good as Night Trap's, but still, it's definitely better. I mean, it's definitely better than what I'm saying and stuff. Due to the complaints I have, I'll not be giving it a perfect 10, but I'll be giving it an 8 out of 10. It's the best score I can give it, because that's basically at least the best I can do with those problems and stuff. Definitely check it out. It's $15, like how Night Trap is and stuff, on the PlayStation 4. If you can check it out, it's digital only, so you're out of luck if you can't find a physical copy and stuff, because physical copies are only for a limited time only, held in like contests and stuff like that and such. So digital is the best way to go. But this is it for part 2. Stay on the lookout for part 3. We're looking at the final game in our Sega CD FMV Games review. Look at Corpse Killer. How does this game fare to Double Switch and Night Trap? Well, you have to find out. And that's what all I gotta say. This is Tony. Peace out. Have a great day. And see you all in episode 104, part 3.